Yo, what's good? It's your boy Dirty O, man, repping 4th and North Hip Hop Weekly in Armadale Vodka, man. Shout out to my boy Cutty over at HipHopSince1987, man. We out here moving. Be sure to check out my new single, No Bank Account, featuring Benny the Butcher. All major streaming sites, man. We working.
Shout my hip-hop since 1987, niggas. Hip-hop since 1987.com.
What's going on, y'all? Cutty, we are live at Hip Hop Since 1987. I got my boy Dirty O in the building. I got my boy Ponzo in the building. Let's start with you first, of course. So give me a little intro for the camera. Tell the people about yourself.
Yeah, yo, you already know, man. It's your boy Dirty O, man. Upstate New York, 4th and North, 716 shit, man. That's what's up.
So upstate New York, that's something that we don't really hear a lot on interviews, you know what I'm saying? It's mostly like Philly or like New York City. You upstate New York.
Man, right.
Upstate,
right.
So.
We by all the prisons, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
So let's talk about that first, because that's so different. So being from upstate New York, how is that when you going into the game, you moving around with all these industry people and they find out that you're from upstate?
I think it's more shocking to a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta bring up stuff like, when they hear Niagara Falls, which is where I'm from, they think Canada first.
Right.
They think, like, you know what I'm saying? They don't understand it's a New York side to it. Whereas niggas like us, man, getting busy, like, especially with this music, you know, we got street backgrounds and everything, like, you know what I mean? We so close to cities like Buffalo, Rochester, which is more rough and known to the world, you know what I'm saying? But I think upstate, by us being there, and our family really come from Alabama, so our roots is kind of Southern. So I think that's what adds to the music and the kind of talent that we bring into the game right now.
Nice. Sure. With that whole, like, being from upstate, do you feel like you have a little bit more to prove, or just being in the game, like your experiences, like did you feel like you had to fight a little bit more for attention just because you were from, not from central New York City, like Manhattan or Brooklyn, but from upstate?
Right, there's a lot of slack that come from that. Well, Shiggy dude, you know, he put up the post on his shit about how New Yorkers look at upstate New York, like we ain't from there, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I still think we just different from them because we don't come with that slang that they got. We got a whole different way where we from, you know what I'm saying? I think that shit is important though, that we make that stamp now, you know what I'm saying? To separate ourselves and let people know that upstate is its own culture, you know what I'm saying? Outside of New York. And it's the underdog story come with it, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't see the diamond in the rough until you clean it off and pick it up.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Right. And that's what we is. We all be diamonds in the rough. Like, and when they see it, I think it's gonna kick open the door more because Benny and I got that trap shit popping. But man, we got so many talented people when it comes to music, as far as writers, producers, beat makers, like everything. Like they gonna see more. Like, you know what I'm saying? We here to show them this.
So I definitely like the energy. So now that everybody know where you from, everybody gotta know what you repping, because you got it on your shirt and you just did that on a lot of time in your intro. So 4th and North, now you said that there was a story behind it.
Yeah. So that's just two streets that I grew up in, coming up in Niagara Falls, which is 4th Street and then North Avenue. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of, this is where a lot of the bad shit happened, you know, the criminal shit, and you know, it's just what's influenced my whole life. So it's like, once I know I was gonna be doing the music route, it was like I kept saying, yo, I keep going from 4th to North, North to 4th, and then it just stuck. You know what I'm saying? So then 4th to North was breeded out of that. Unfortunately, all my niggas that I came up with, you know, they all upstate, literally, you know what I'm saying? So free the homies, man. But yeah, 4th to North, man, is bigger than just streets now, because I'm making it a brand, like, you know, like with the merch, man, with the label, you know, and other labels coming around and being involved with it, like, you know, linking up with Cake Boss, linking up with Lather Gang, CMF, like, you know what I'm saying? All this shit just mean, like, you know, the brand is just building and building and getting bigger. So the world gonna know what 4th to North is.
So going back to 4th to North, just real quick. So do you feel like you giving upstate something to be proud of? Because mind you, I don't know nothing from upstate.
Right.
So 4th to North is now my thing that I know.
Right.
When I go upstate, I'm like, well, 4th to North. You feel what I'm saying? So how does that feel, knowing that you're building something for upstate that people under you can be a part of one day, of course, because you're going to build and expand. But just that feeling alone that you're building something, that you were a part of it.
Overall, man, I would just say accomplished. You know what I'm saying? I feel accomplished by, like, you know what I'm saying, starting some shit that came from nothing but negativity. You know what I'm saying? Where niggas was all about violence and drugs and shit, like, and then to take that and then start seeing myself in places like LA at Baltimore House, or, you know, chilling with Benny Siegel, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like these people I looked up to, and then to see that I could build a brand from the streets and bring it up to where it's at now is just like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's huge. It's like, so accomplished is like the main word that I think, you know what I mean?
So talking about accomplishments, let's talk about Dope Boy Secrets, because that's done, that's out. I watched it.
Yeah.
So, with Dark Glow, who's not here with us right now, but let's give him a mention anyway, because he's on there.
Shout out my boy Low,
Facts.
Free
OBH.
ARF too, man.
Free
Facts.
ad, baby. Top goons in Philly.
Yes.
That's right. So let's talk a little bit about that, because I know you both were involved, so I can get both sides.
Right. So, you know what I mean? Shout out my boy Mikey T, the movie star, man. You know what I mean? I've been working with Mikey T for like 6 years, 7 years. So he pretty loopy, man. He got shit where he connected, like, you know what I mean? So he hit me one time about a Dark Low feature, which I hopped on, you know what I mean? And then from there, he was like, yo, Low interested in doing an album if you want to do it. So now, you know, I sat back and I thought about it. I was sitting on the idea for a minute because I already got a project coming out, you know what I mean, called A Day Outside the Office, which I put Dark Low feature on, Beanie Siegel, Sue Surf, a lot of others on that CD. So I was already in line to drop a project. But when this opportunity came, I had already linked up with Ponzo. So now we in the basement in the studio vibing and shit. And then, you know, I bring it up to him. And he just responded, like, you know what I mean, the way that I needed him to respond, like, yo, let's pull the trigger on that shit, like. So I put the word in, man, and it was like, man, from there, you know, we planned the little dates and everything, came out to Philly, 9 songs, man, one day, man, we got in the studio, 2 days, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I mean,
2 days.
2 days is good though, 9 songs?
9 songs, 2 days, man. Shout out to Dark Low, man, that man was working, right? Like crazy, you know what I mean? Yeah, I brought my guy Coach along, man, produced a couple beats, man, hopped on some tracks, man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so the energy and the team, the vibe was just like crazy, like, and Dutch actually played a big role because we was thinking of Secrets of a Dope Boy.
Shout out to Big Bro, Dutch, major figures.
And he stepped in with a couple ideas.
Legendary Philly.
He stepped in with a couple ideas and shit that, you know what I mean, that stuck, and we ran with a few of them. He actually did the intro and the outro for us too. You know what I mean? So it was just like, the Philly presence on here is huge, like, you know what I mean? So, and Dark Low and them just been working with Benny and them, so it's just like the upstate Philly thing. I feel like the timing is just it's lining up, like, you know what I mean? It's lining up perfect, man. And y'all gonna see, man, because Dope Boy Secrets is gonna be a street classic.
That's right. All right. So going across the country, being an artist, the feeling is absolutely irreplaceable.
That's a fact.
So from your perspective, how is that feeling?
Oh man, it's like, and then it's like, different places bring different energies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've done South by Southwest before, you know, and to see the love at the Texas show was like next level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As opposed to a place like Atlanta or Miami, you gotta grind a little harder. You know what I mean? Because there's so many people out there. But when I realized that my presence was more important than my money. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to feel like, fuck it, I got a couple dollars. I could go out here and move like I move when I'm home. But I don't know the promoters like I do when I'm home. I don't know the people like I do when I'm home. So it's like, I realized like, that little $400-500, man, niggas ain't even worried about that shit. So I gotta build on a different level. That's when I started valuing relationships, you know what I'm saying? And understanding that who I know was way more important than what I had.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we all think it's impossible, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's not, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just the hard work and the consistency that you put into your craft. I think that's gonna get you those bigger
accomplishments and next level.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. But yeah, man, shout out to all the people I met throughout the way, man. Philly's been showing love since I've been out here in New York, Miami, LA. Like, I done traveled, man, damn near our whole country, man. Like, cause it's like, I know it was important and I took risks, I spent money, I learned lessons, you know what I'm saying? I had bad nights, good nights, like everything come with it. But that's part of the grind because when I sit on Oprah couch and tell that story, it's gonna be crazy.
That's a fact. Right. So let's talk about your independence. Let's talk about these features that you got, because the main thing about being independent is artists don't know how to get big features.
Right.
You got one with Benny, you got one with Beanie Siegel. So let's start talking about that a little bit. Maybe we can help get the next artist in the position that you're in. So let's start with Benny.
All right, so I'm gonna say it's different routes for the features. Like, you know what I'm saying? The bag is always important. If you got the bag, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you don't want to go at the feature with the bag way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't let that be your first way through because they're gonna tax you. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna hit you as hard as they possibly can. So it's like, everybody got a best friend, man. Everybody got somebody next to them. Everybody trying to make a couple dollars. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can find somebody in that circle that can get you a word or something, like, you know what I mean? Or through your own relationships. Like, Now with Benny, like, oh man, we've been seeing Benny grind for like, man,
Years.
a lot of years, like, cause Buffalo, Niagara Falls, we 15, 20 minutes away from them, you know what I'm saying? I used to go to their studio even way back then before any of this was even
When he
thought
was,
about.
when he was
you know
two
what I'm saying?
chains. When he was
Right.
two chains.
Benny Two
man.
Chains.
With the braids.
Yeah. And fucking so he put up a stat on Facebook talking about how niggas didn't want to acknowledge him as an artist that needs some money like for his features now. Like so when I hit him, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, he just responded with, you know, like the way that I needed him to respond, like, you know what I'm saying, we talk, we kick it. We came up with a nice little price for me. He came through the studio, man, he vibed, man. We got a vlog out right now from you know, the track and shit, because it's a track called No Bank Account. Just recently dropped on the 6th. It's on all streaming sites featuring Benny. And, you know, it was just like, it was just a thing that happened naturally. Like, you know what I'm saying? That post, I was meant to see that post.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, you know, I got pride, but it won't never get in my way. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Especially when I'm chasing the same shit these niggas chasing.
Right.
And we just talked to this nigga and he telling us about shit he got lined up. So I'm like, man, them niggas is popping. Like, it's good to get this feature now before shit get crazy.
Yeah.
And I got the feature before shit got crazy. Because now it's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
So let's definitely talk about the No Bank Account song. I want to talk about the creative process for that, because just like you said, you know what I'm saying, like you hit him up, you got a good price, y'all was in the studio, y'all was vibing, so let's talk about the creative process for the No Bank Account.
well, see how it started was, it's like, I didn't, like, it was all spur of the moment. Like, when I hit him up, he responded right there. He asked for the beat right there. So now I'm like, damn, I didn't even think I had a beat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, what the fuck? Like, what I'm gonna send this
Right,
nigga?
it's like, oh,
and I don't want to send him like no fucked up shit.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, I was like, all right, I'm shuffling through beats. And I was just talking to Coach about this the other day because he asked me about the beat and who made it. Shout out to my bro Jamil, Yusuf Hot, exclusive on Instagram, man. He low key, man, but man, he got some fire, man. Like,
Right.
So I'm going through a folder that he sent me, man. I found a beat and I was like, yo, man, I think I could work with this shit.
So my next question was going to be, now that the process was done and you meeting him, you got in the studio with him, you got a song with him, how's been the feedback since the song has came out?
Oh man, it's been crazy, man. You know, the Benny feature made sense, like, and I was glad I did it because working with somebody that's so focused with the trap and shit he doing, it made me get back into my shit. I had to tap back in and, you know what I mean, he helped me with that. So, I mean, the record is fire, man. Man, that whole process was just amazing, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it was more genuine. Like,
These guys are really doing great things for upstate New York, and I'm pushing for you.
Yes, sir.
Hip Hop Since 1987 is pushing for you, and we want the best for you. So, any last words?
Yo,
This is your chance.
Yo, it's your motherfucking boy Dirty O, man. 4th to North, man. 716 shit, man. Shout out to all the motherfucking brands out there, man. 4th to North, Hip Hop Weekly, Armadale, man. Salute to Lavin Game, Cake Ball, CMF. Shout out to Hip Hop Since 1987.